Right. Good night to everyone. Um, I know we've waited for this a while now, and God has come to us, and so we are about to start tonight. And the focus of this program really is really we want to focus on the book of Daniel and Revelation, because there are many people have a problem with this book, with these books, Daniel and Revelation. There are people who read these books with fear, with a certain fear. You know, they get the picture of a set of beasts, ugly looking beasts with how much eyes and how much heads and all this kind of stuff, giving a negative picture. So some people get a negative picture of God, what God looks like, who he is. But I want to let you know tonight, folks, that how we see God, how we perceive God, is how he is to us, or is what he is to us. But the Bible paints a beautiful picture of who God really is. And when we study the Bible, we realize that many concepts and ideas that we had of God, the image that we created of God, is not really who God is. See, over the years and throughout the centuries, God has been painted as a destroyer. He has been painted as a God who kills when you see you. But I'm not getting that picture of a God who created mankind so beautifully, and wonderfully made because we are in the image of God. We are beautiful. I can't picture a God like that, who created us so beautifully and with this great, deep, great love for mankind, that his aim is to kill man because you disobey him, because you do something that displeases him. That's not the God that the Bible talks about, brothers and sisters. That's not the God that the Old Testament talks about. That's not the God that the New Testament talks about. And as we study, as we delve deeply into these books of Daniel and Revelation and Genesis, because we are going to get our source from the book of Genesis. Because the book of Genesis is the book of beginnings, and the book of Revelation is the end. And let me show you what that is. Genesis is the beginning of what God has created, all that God had created beautifully, and mankind in his beautiful image. Revelation and Genesis also is the beginning of sin. The beginning of sin and how sin escalated and caused destruction and death and so on. But Revelation, the closing book, what was lost is regained. What was lost in Genesis is restored in Revelation. God's image, God's character is what was man. And in Revelation, it's restored. So that's what Revelation is all about. It's about God, the restoration of God's image, of his character in mankind. And it is God's character that really saves us. It is God's attitude. That was says, let this mind be in you. That was also in Christ Jesus. So God bless as we continue through the rest of the program. And be blessed.